Matty Turner, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, good, thanks, you.
Yes, mate, thank you very much for joining me. I've already spoken to Ethan tonight, but what's your thoughts on the weekend?
I mean, we played hard, didn't we? We give it everything we had, but it just wasn't our night last night for sure. The boys battled hard, and fair play to Invicta. To be fair, they played well, and their goalie stood on his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
We just couldn't put the puck in the net. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those things. I mean, Sasha played well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was blinding. So was Casey as well. Casey was brilliant.
I think
it just wasn't for us, was it?
No, I mean everyone looked like they'd skate through brick walls for each other last night, and I think they just defended so well. As soon as we got anywhere near the goal, they just packed players in front of the goal.
That's it, yeah.
And
we had no quality shots, did we? Really, not enough anyway.
No, I think the best one we had dinged off the iron, I think, in the second period. But it's one of them things, I suppose. But and then, as Ethan said, get it to bed, get it to the back of the mind, and move on to the playoffs. Because what better chance of revenge than going straight into another double header?
Definitely, yeah.
Which we have found out. We've found out. I don't know if you know. We've actually found out tonight. Home leg is Saturday. Away leg is Sunday.
Yeah.
And Saturday nights in the Riverside are special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it should be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, I think all the fans are as well. So I don't think anyone had a negative word to say about the weekend. So everyone's really looking forward to exacting a little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
So I'll let anyone know that's watching. We did not coordinate before, but we're both wearing Chicago Bulls hats.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are, aren't we?
but we didn't pre-coordinate that. I don't even like basketball.
I mean, I always have to wear a hat nowadays. The hairline's going.
Well,
so.
I'm in the same boat, mate. We've had this this conversation, not directly between the two of us, because I may have mistaken your hair colour in another interview.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being ginger. To be fair, I'd probably take a full head of ginger hair. To be fair,
rather than going bald.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if I could actually grow in it would all be sort of silver now. But I think I'd actually go with that. So you retired at the end of last season after a pretty long and illustrious career, especially Essex-based hockey.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, a few months later, you were back. Only his injury cover to start with. Talk us through that.
So, I mean, I was always going to be the first one to come back out of the three of us or four of us. How many was there? Four of us? Five of us?
I think it was five of us. It was you, Browner, Smithy, Ayling, and Munsey. And Munsey's back as well. It's only, I think it's actually only James and Brownie that haven't come back.
Yeah. But I was always going to be the first. I mean, I come and watch the game. I can't remember who they're playing now, and I saw the boys, and I missed that buzz. Plus, I was starting to get a bit of a belly, so I thought I'll give Bartlett a text to see if Mark would let me out on the ice, and he said come out. So I'd done that a couple of times, and he was like, "Oh, do you fancy playing?" I was like, "Look, I can't commit full time. This is what I can do," and he was happy with that, and went from there really.
Yeah, so originally it was announced as sort of injury cover, and numbers was definitely something we needed at the start of the season, particularly with experience with numbers. So did you feel like you slotted straight back in?
I wouldn't say I slotted straight back in. I was a bit rusty. Do you know what I mean? I was a bit unfit. I mean, I knew a lot of the boys already, which was good. But it was just good to be back out on the ice, really.
So, of all the seasons that you played, obviously with some with Raiders as well as Chelmsford, have you got a particular favourite?
I mean, my memory's terrible. Like my whole hockey career is like blended into one game. It's so bad. I might need to get my head checked, really. But I mean, that Clarkey year where we won, was it the quad? That was pretty special, to be fair.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, there's some fantastic pictures of the guys all on the ice celebrating there.
Yeah.
What I think was the final trophy of that quadruple. But a lot of players that I've spoken to have said that you've got the best hands that they've ever seen of anyone playing with. But for you, which player that you've played with has got the best hands?
Best hands. I mean, Ayling was pretty silky. Chongi as well. I wouldn't say Jules. No, that's a tough one. Yeah, probably Ayling and Chongi.
Yeah, I must admit. I mean,
and Hammy as well. Danny Hammond was decent as well.
Yeah, anyone who hadn't seen James or Chongi play for Chelmsford really did miss out, because they were both quite incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Going
back as well, like I forget now, but like people like Scott McKenzie, he's still playing, I think. But yeah, he had some hands on him, and Darren Cotton as well. I'm showing my age now, but yeah, Darren Cotton.
Yeah. Out of all, I mean, obviously, I think most of the ones you mentioned there were having the good hands. Have you got a best import that you played with?
Yeah, when I was at Romford, they had a D-man called Jan Krajcek. His brother played in the NHL. I can't remember who. It might have been Arizona, well, Phoenix at the time, something like that. But yeah, he was about 7 foot tall. He had a cannon of a slap shot. He was unbelievable to play with. So smart. He was about 40 when I played with him, I think. But yeah, he was getting on a bit. But he was.
Oh, really?
He was incredible.
Do you feel like
Darius Plaskauskas as well? He was pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he's still playing now, but yeah, he was up there.
Do you think, obviously, that it does improve the local players and the sort of the English players to play more with these Canadians, Americans?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Do you think it's enough that we've got in our league having 2 in each team?
For our league, 2 is probably enough, yeah, because you want to be developing the kids, really, getting them some senior ice and getting them progressing, really. So, yeah. I think 2 is enough.
Because I know
it's finding the right 2. That
can be the thing, can't it? I mean, I know the Elite League is going up to 15 from next year.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I already think there's too many in the Elite. National's supposed to be jumping to 4. I would like to see them. Apparently, I think the rule only came in this year that you're only allowed 1 on the ice at any one time. Because I seem to remember Miso Korenko and Laschek being on the ice together last year.
No, that was only 1, wasn't it?
I was trying to put it in my head. Someone was asking me about it, but it's because obviously having Petr Cech in the squad this year.
Yeah.
When he plays, it hamstrings us because Sasha can't play.
Yeah.
And you see the way he played at the weekend. It's an incredible headache to have.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he played brilliantly this weekend. I mean, he even got promoted up to first line yesterday, I think, because he was having such a good game. And yeah, but it's one of those things, isn't it, with that rule? I mean, he shouldn't really be classed as an import, I don't think, because he's still young, isn't he? But
he is, yeah. I mean, the other sort of side of it is that I discussed with a few other fans is that we don't know why Cech is classed as an import, because he's lived and worked here for 20 years.
Yeah, it's true as well. Yeah,
it seems kind of unfair on him as well, actually. But yeah, no, I think it'll possibly go up in the future. But as you say, it's finding that balance, isn't it, of the right imports and getting the British lads enough time on the ice but can learn off of these imported players. Yeah. And then occasionally we are seeing ones jump from here and going over there, which is good. Liam Kirk obviously is the big one at the moment that everyone kind of gets on about. Yeah. Have you always had the same gear throughout your career? Obviously, I understand you probably replaced things as you've gone through, but have you always stuck with the same brand?
Yeah, skates have always been Bauer. I mean, to be fair, that's probably the only thing I keep as the same brand. That and my helmet, I think. My helmet's always been Bauer. But yeah, it all changes. But I mean, I've had my shorts since I was like, I don't know, 19. Elbow pads probably the same, yeah. Leg pads, yeah. I think my leg pads I had when I was playing junior hockey, I've still got them.
They're still going?
Yeah.
Have they got a smell all of their own? Is it?
Yeah. They've got mould growing on them, all sorts.
It's such an expensive sport to play. If you had to replace that gear every year, it'd be it'd be an absolute nightmare. Have you ever had any personal sponsorship to help you out with any of that?
No. That's why I've still got stuff from when I was a kid, because it's too expensive.
I was seeing it quite a lot with the young women. The young women are getting themselves sponsors for equipment and whatnot. Nice. I've had a few on in the last few weeks and in this episode from the GB under-18s. And yeah, getting themselves sponsors is, doing them the world of good. It's amazing that most of the lads are not getting it themselves. I mean, particularly with, obviously we get the jersey sponsors, people doing the owning and loaning. But if you look at like the goalies' pads, there's 2 massive advertising boards there on their legs. They certainly could get some of it. So what's you got your leg pads there. Is that the longest piece of kit you've had that's gone the longest?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, my leg pads are. Yeah. I reckon. I think Browner was probably the same, and he's cracked like right at the end of last year, and he had to buy a new pair, obviously, because they were causing him so much discomfort. And then he just couldn't wear the new ones. He cut them to pieces to try and get them to fit nice, and he couldn't get on with them. And then Ayling borrowed them, I think, in the end. And he just battled through with the broken ones.
You got to wear them in, I suppose, haven't you?
Yeah, it's horrible breaking the new kit. Everybody hates it.
Well, now you mention Ayling, obviously he was on a couple of weeks ago, and I had a question that came to him from Elliot Dervish that he wouldn't answer.
I can't.
You can't answer.
I can't. I would love to show you, but it's just not PG. So, yeah.
Well, I think technically I keep the podcast clean, but the YouTube is different. So if we say nothing, and I thought you might be sitting.
To be fair, it's not on my mantelpiece. But anyway. I'd have to go and find it somewhere. It's in a bag somewhere.
Probably not with your kids about. It's probably not best.
No,
exactly. What I'm imagining that it is. So that's and obviously that sort of brought up of other people talking about you. Everything that it always says about you is you are the most superstitious player that they play with.
Yeah.
So
I think it's borderline. Like, I need psychiatric help. I think that's one of the reasons why I retired. I think is just getting exhausted in all these routines and superstitions. But
TJ told us of a couple, and now everyone that sort of sits in the little block that I'm in, they watch TJ do the circle 3 times, and they see you over the other side.
I suck players into my superstitions, and then it becomes their superstition. So like Jules had a few for me, but now Rayner's taken over one of them.
Is that his last on the ice one? Is it?
No. It does something in the room for me.
Oh, does it?
He has to give me. Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's bad. I've got way too many. They're not necessarily superstitions; they're just routines. But I just have to do them. Do you know?
Just to make yourself feel right when you get on the ice. Yeah.
But there's a lot. I couldn't tell you how many there are.
No, but there's some you probably don't even want to reveal, because since Rayner revealed that he loves to be the last person on the ice, we've had some pretty sort of like silly affairs at the end of warm-ups with players standing there looking at each other, dangling a foot and all sorts, trying to wind him up.
No, I'm normally like one of the first. I think I'm either the first or second. I think Ethan's normally first off, and then I'm second off.
Yeah.
Normally. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of them that stay out there probably a bit too long, don't they? But they're
yeah. I've got to try and conserve my energy. That's the problem. Getting old.
Yeah, none of us getting any younger.
No.
So I've got a few questions here. Most are clean. You've actually got away with it completely scot-free, really. Apart from there was one that we sort of dug out earlier about your hair, and are you going to give up and shave it?
Yeah, I need to. Yeah. Well, the plan was after the wedding, but I just haven't got round to it.
Well, as I said to said player who decided to remain anonymous, I'm not sure.
I mean, it wasn't Ethan, was it? Because he can't really talk.
No, we're all in the same boat. I think me, you, and Ethan. I lost my choice a long time ago and just gone. But grow a beard. It makes it look a bit better. But yeah, I've got a few questions from the listeners. Ollie Bennett has asked, what's your favourite film, hockey-wise or otherwise?
Oh, that is a good question. I mean, I loved all the Mighty Ducks. I mean, my little boy's into them now, and he's only 4, and he's quoting them and everything. It's crazy. But yeah, Mighty Ducks. Miracle's a great hockey film.
Yeah.
That's probably I'd probably say that's my favourite hockey film. But favourite films, I would say Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas. Yeah.
No, well, you have to. It'll be clean, so it'll be all right for your son next week. But Matt Doherty is on the podcast next week. So.
Yeah, I was going to tell him that. I don't think he'd expect to see the young kid.
What he looks like now. Yeah. He looks slightly different now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I think he's pushing 50, but he's
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. Mighty Ducks is one of my favourites back in the day, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sophia Gatlin, the infamous sign girl from the Riverside. I'm sure you may know the reasons to this. I think some people do, but why is your jersey number so small?
Yeah. Because they obviously had all the shirts made, and then they had to get like mine and Ethan's like last minute, and they used a different supplier, and they tried to copy the design, but for some reason the numbers were small. But we did get replacements, and it's slightly bigger now. Still not full size, but yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, that wasn't Sophia. That was Lucy. That one. Sophia's asked, "What is your favourite Chieftains jersey and why? The warm up, the home, or the away, or perhaps a vintage one from seasons gone by?"
I like, probably the one behind you. I like that one.
Oh, last season's home. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like those ones. I mean, they're quite plain, but they're,
it's old school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost old school. Yeah. That was probably one of my favourites.
Yeah, I like that. I did like this one. This one was really random. The charity one from this year.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to play that game, but
no, that's an incredibly colourful jersey.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back now to like the 7 Up years and that, when they were, I think we had like maroon and white we were.
Yeah, I do see some actually around the rink. There's some some maroon and white. There's some sort of white with like a jade green on there as well.
Yeah.
In the Chieftains logo.
Yeah, I think it was in blue, red and white at one point as well. I could be wrong. Taxi bus, yeah, I think it was a taxi bus year. You have to ask Righty, he'll remember.
Yeah. And Arista has asked, what's your most embarrassing moment as a Chieftain?
I don't know. As a Chieftain,
is there a more embarrassing one as a Raider?
No, there's probably 2 as a Raider. Well, one as a Spitfire and one as a Raider. Yeah, I had a penalty shot, my first ever penalty shot against Ben Clements, and I left the puck behind. I missed it. Yeah, I missed the puck, but I think I've made up for it now. I think I've scored on him quite a bit now, which I enjoy doing to wind him up. I
think one of them was in a shootout, wasn't it, against Invicta last season?
Yeah,
I think you stuck it through the 5-hole at the end of the shootout.
Yeah, I normally try and do the same move all the time, but and he knows that, so I thought I'd try something different, and he fell for it. So but no, I've had my blade fall out on my skate mid game. That was quite embarrassing, trying to skate with no blade in your skate.
No blade on.
But other than that, I don't think no, saying that, I stepped on the ice with my blade guards on. Came out. I was so pumped up for the game, I forgot to take my blade guards off. Darren Brown found it hilarious.
I think we did have one of the Elite League referees on earlier. I think it was episode 13, and he did that at Chelmsford. Come out the entrance with his skate guards on and went flying.
Well, we only just found out Luca fell over on yesterday.
I've got video of it.
Yeah, I have someone's put it in our group. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it was one of the sponsors had a good video of you all coming in, and I asked him if he had the first original bit where Luca did his Klinsman. And that's. I think Richie did it actually coming out for the third as well. I think Richie went flying, but it did look quite wet after every cut. It looked sort of quite wet.
There's so many people in there, weren't there? How many people did we have in?
I don't think numbers. I mean, it was a full sellout.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't think they like us telling the Riverside exactly how many people we have in there. But I think Ethan left the puck behind at one point because he got stuck in a puddle.
Yeah, that's it. Right at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, right at the start of the third, I think. Yeah, lucky that nothing worse came of that. That would have been. Yeah. That would have been a right shocker. Is there? I noticed when you was at Romford earlier, you wore number 8. And now at Chieftains you've been 88. Is there a reason behind the 8 or the 88? And did you have one because you couldn't have the other?
So my whole junior career I was 8 because I'm an Arsenal fan. It was because Ian Wright had 8. And then obviously I went to Romford I went and played Spitfires once I'd finished my junior hockey, because I was playing up Chiefs, but I weren't going to get a lot of ice time, so I thought I'll go over to their second team, the Spitfires. And my mate Ricky Mills, he was an ex-Chieftain as well, actually. He had number 8, so I couldn't have that, so I went to 17. Then I started playing Raiders, and then they got an import in, and he wouldn't sign unless he could have number 17. So I was like, well, I'll go back to 8 then. And then I was 8 all through that. Came to Chelmsford, was wearing 8 there, and then I left, went back to Romford, and then obviously Cam and Grant were 8 and 9. When I came back, I weren't going to get it back, was I? Let's be honest.
No, no, not at all.
So I had to go for 88, and
So was your junior hockey all at Chelmsford?
Yeah. I learned. So I used to live near Romford, but I went skating like once or twice. And then we moved to Chelmsford in '97, I want to say, when I was 9. And my dad took me and my brother to go watch Chiefs play, and I was hooked. So I was like, well, what have we got to do? Did all my skating lessons, had a trial with the mini Chieftains. That was with Mike Ford. He's a Chieftain, a Chelmsford coaching legend. Mike Ford. It just went from there, really. So,
then obviously right through the setup up to the Chieftains.
Yeah, so I started last year under 12s, and I was fairly small for my age, so I had to try and, because I was constantly playing up an age group as such, I had to adapt my game pretty quickly. And then I think I played my first Chiefs game when I was 14, maybe 15, in like a friendly.
Yeah.
And then I was playing Chiefs. I'll say playing. I was a rookie. I was just on the bench getting the odd shift here and there. Scored a couple of goals. My first Chieftains goal was in Slough away, and it was a power play, and I was on the ice, and I turned around. And I was like, "Is anyone?" Like, looked at asking Douglas, who was the coach. I was like, "You're going to call me off?" And no one called me off. So it was me, Dwayne Ward, and I think it was Ross Jones or someone. Won the face. Wardo won the face off, went in the corner, passed it to me in the slot, and I scored. And it was Leone who was meant to be on the ice. and he I don't think he's ever forgiven me for it. But I stole his goal essentially.
That's unfortunately, I didn't make it to Invicta Saturday night for the first leg, but someone sitting behind me told me your goal was quite special on Saturday night.
It was all right. It wasn't as good as Rayner's. It was similar to Rayner's, but Rayner's was better.
But do you still get the same excited feeling when you score?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. You can't replicate it really.
No, I mean I've never played ice hockey. I've scored plenty of goals playing football, and I've done boxing. Boxing is probably as close as I could probably get. If you win in boxing, that's probably about as close as I'd say scoring a goal in front of a crowd. But I didn't win very often at boxing either. So. No, I was what they known as a journeyman. I'd pay me anything. I'd take a beating. So certainly kept me fit. I know a few of the lads in hockey have done a bit of boxing, obviously just for that fitness and if any enforcers. Have you ever had a fight on the ice?
I wouldn't call them fights. I mean,
it doesn't seem your style.
No, I mean it's a running joke, because like I've had scuffles, and then the pictures that have come out make it look like it's like I've won the fight. So I tell people that I'm free for free, even though it was 0 punches thrown, but the photos look like they But it's just one of those things. Like, if it happens, it happens. But
have you seen a change in the game at the length of time that you've been playing it? Because I think it's improved rapidly in the last sort of 3 or 4 years. There's been a massive improvement.
Yeah, skill wise and pace, and the roughness is sort of coming out of the game, really.
What would you put that down to? Would you say the training and the coaching's better?
Yeah, I think it's the same as the NHL, isn't it? Like the fighting's getting less and less in that, really, isn't it?
They're certainly trying to push it out.
It's more skill based, and more goals and things like that.
Well, I mean, it's testament really to what happened Saturday night, where obviously all the fans enjoy a good fight, and we know Kieran Ray enjoys a good fight, but that put him out Sunday night.
Yeah. I don't think he actually wanted to go, but when someone's hitting you in the edge, you kind of got to go, haven't you?
yeah, you've got to, and he ended up winning it quite comfortably. But like I say, getting that 5-minute penalty and getting that penalty point tipped him over the edge, and he's missed Sunday and he'll miss Saturday as well. So it's yes, I can kind of see why they're trying to push it out. I think it's always there for the entertainment, but I think if you also look at the tactical side of it, it clearly worked on Saturday because we were 2-0 down at the time, and I think got the crowd up, got the boys up, and within 10 minutes of that, it was 2-2.
Yeah.
So it's I think tactically wise, it's still something that can be used. But I had Sean McMorrow on previously, who played a bit in the NHL and AHL and over here, and that was his game. He was the enforcer. He fought anyone he could, but he knows it's coming out of the game. Doesn't think it'll ever be gone for good.
No, I don't think it will be gone. I mean, even in our league, the players that fight only normally fight the other fighters. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, and there is a respect at the end of it. I don't think it'll ever go out of the game, but it's definitely slowing down.
Yeah, as long as as you say, the enforcers will fight the enforcers, won't they? They won't start sort of picking anyone else. And it doesn't seem to be something that the young players that come through have got any interest in.
No, they wouldn't just dangle and score goals, really, don't they?
Yeah, they want to do the bit that looks good, don't they, on the ice? But who do you think was the best player you played with junior wise that never really progressed?
Junior wise, I mean, there was some really good juniors. I didn't actually play with them. So like Richie Gunn, right, you'll know him. I think he's really good friends with him. Like he played GB and stuff, and he had bags of talent, but sort of just faded away after juniors.
Life gets in the way, I suppose.
That's it. Yeah. Other things take over. Who else is? I mean, like Frankie Harvey at Romford, he was unbelievable. He shot. He could shoot. His release was so quick. And it like hands and speed, and he could hit. And he shot, he had a rocket of a shot. But again, work takes over, and other things have become more important.
Yeah. Have you got a favourite goal that you've scored, or if it wasn't the power play goal at Slough?
Favourite goal? Yeah, Chieftains fans might hate me for saying this, but it was against Chieftains when I played for Romford, and it was against Ben, which makes it even better. I think there's a video on my Instagram somewhere of I walked through Al Green and Alex Staples and then around Ben. That was probably my favourite goal.
Tucks it in. Superb.
Yeah.
Well, Matty, thank you so much for joining me. I know it's late in the evening. I've kept you for quite some time. But real pleasure to have you on. We're all really glad you come back for this season, and no pressure, but we'd love to see you back again next season.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season. Obviously, a big weekend coming up. And hope we do well. Cheers, mate.
Nice one. Cheers.